You stand before the great and silent void. It is a perfect, featureless black, an empty canvas waiting for a master's touch. You are here to paint a sunrise, a permanent one. The galactic powers said this was impossible. They called it the dream of a lesser species, a foolish and dangerous ambition. They claimed that stars were not built. They were only born in fire and time. They said no machine could mimic that power. No mind could command that kind of creation. Their star science was rigid, a thing of rules. You were about to break every single one. You looked into the darkness. It did not look back. It simply waited. This patch of nothing was your workshop. It was carefully chosen, far from any trade lane, far from any established world. Here, there were no accidents waiting to happen. There were only the accidents you would create yourself. And you knew there would be many. Building a god is messy work. You are not a god. You are just an engineer. But you are the only one who dared. The only one with the will to try. The silence stretches for light years. It is the kind of quiet that drives most beings mad. For you, it is the sound of opportunity, the sound of a clean slate. Your world is fading. It orbits a dying cinder of a sun. The star's light is weak and red. Its warmth is a distant memory. Generations have passed since anyone felt true sunlight. Your people live underground now. They huddle near geothermal vents for heat. They have forgotten what a blue sky looks like. You have not forgotten. You carry the memory for them all. You remember the stories of the surface, of green fields and vast, open air. You remember the promise you made. You made it to a child, your own. Her face was pale in the artificial lights. Her breath was a small cloud in the cold air. She asked if she would ever see the sun, a real one, not the flickering bulb in the ceiling. You looked into her tired eyes, and you gave her your answer. You promised her a new dawn. It was the kind of promise a fool makes, a promise that weighs more than a mountain, a promise you intended to keep. That promise echoes in your mind now. It is the fuel that drives you. It is the blueprint for your impossible machine. Every switch you flip, every calculation you run, is for her. It is for the billions huddled in the cold dark. You will not let them fade away. You will give them back their sky. You turn to the console before you. This is the forge of worlds. It is a forgotten piece of technology, something left behind by a long-dead race. You found it adrift in the interstellar dark. A ghost ship the size of a small moon. Its systems were dormant, sleeping for eons. You woke them up. The forge hums around you. It is a deep, resonant sound, the sound of immense power held in check. Ancient energies flow through its circuits. Gravitic plates and reality anchors thrum with potential. The air itself feels heavy, thick with purpose. No one alive knows how to build such a thing. You barely know how to operate it. You spent years studying its alien language. You spent decades understanding its functions. It was a puzzle box with a star at its center. Its former masters were clearly not joking around. They built this place to shape reality itself. Now, it answers only to your command. A tool of creation in the hands of a desperate human. The main view screen shows the empty void, but smaller panels display the forge's status. Power levels are at 100%. The structural integrity field is stable. The forgotten tools of creation are ready. They are humming a song of terrible possibility. All they need is a conductor for their orchestra. A faint pressure brushes against your mind. It is a familiar, unwelcome sensation. The Elder Ones are watching. They sit on their timeless thrones across the galaxy. They observe the universe as a mild diversion, like a show put on for their amusement. Right now, you are the main attraction. To them, you are an arrogant child, a fleeting creature of dust and water, playing with forces you cannot possibly comprehend. Their thoughts are not words. They are feelings, waves of disdain and cold pity. They project their unimpressed boredom across the light years. It is their version of a bad review. You have felt their gaze before. When you first activated the forge, they sent a flicker of annoyance. A cosmic who is making all that noise. You ignored them then. You ignore them now. What do they know of promises? What do they know of dying worlds? They have outlived their own stars. They see your project as a tantrum, a brief, noisy spectacle before you fail. They do not believe you can succeed. Their long existence has taught them one thing. The universe has rules that cannot be broken. You are a fool for trying. You can almost hear their sigh. Another lesser being about to learn a hard lesson. Let them watch. Perhaps they will learn something new. You place your hands on the controls. It is time to begin. Your first action is simple. You must gather the raw materials. A star is mostly hydrogen. The universe is full of it, but it is spread thin, a faint mist in the void. You need to gather an ocean of it, an ocean of single atoms. You engage the primary collection field. A network of energy tendrils expands from the forge. It stretches out for millions of kilometers, an invisible net cast into the cosmic dark. The system is a masterpiece of engineering. It gently pulls on the fabric of space itself. It creates a slow, steady current. On your screen, you see the numbers change. Hydrogen density is rising. 1 atom per cubic meter becomes 2, then 10, then 100. It is a slow, patient process, like filling a vast reservoir 1 drop at a time. The first motes of a new sun answer your call. They drift toward the forge's core. A faint shimmer appears in the blackness ahead. It is a cloud of interstellar gas, so thin it is almost a ghost. Your collection field draws it in. The motes of Genesis swirl and coalesce, a tiny spark of potential in the endless night. The work has begun. The promise is 1 step closer to being real. The process continues for days, then weeks. The cloud of hydrogen grows larger and denser. It begins to glow with its own faint energy, a proto-nebula in the heart of your machine. You feel a flicker of pride. It is a small thing, but it is something you made, something from nothing. Then, a new alert flashes on your console. It is a message, an incoming transmission. It is not from your homeworld. The source is far away. At the edge of the local star cluster, you accept the transmission. A symbol appears on the main screen, the balanced scales of the Council of Stars. So, they finally noticed. A voice fills the bridge. It is not a living voice. It is synthesized, cold and perfectly modulated. It speaks with an air of absolute authority. It does not greet you. It does not ask for your identity. It simply delivers its message. A single, dismissive warning. A cease and desist order for the cosmos. Unsanctioned stellar generation is prohibited. The voice is flat. Your project violates galactic law. It risks unpredictable gravitational consequences. It threatens the stability of this sector. Cease all operations immediately. Decommission your equipment. Failure to comply will be met with enforcement. The transmission ends. No room for discussion. No offer of negotiation. Just a command. The Council of Stars, a body of ancient races. They fancy themselves the landlords of the galaxy. They thought your little project was just a power surge. Now they know the truth. and they sent you a strongly worded letter. You almost laugh. You look at the swirling cloud of gas, the heart of your future son. The council sees it as a threat. You see it as hope. Their warning is a testament to your progress. You have made a ripple in their great calm. You have their attention. You delete their message without a reply. The work must continue. You increase power to the containment field. The hydrogen cloud needs to be compressed. Gravity must take over. This is the most delicate stage. Too much pressure, and it will blow apart. Too little, and it will simply drift away. You inch the power levels upward. Your eyes are fixed on the telemetry. The cloud begins to contract. Its density increases exponentially. The temperature at its core starts to rise. Thousands of degrees, then hundreds of thousands. The pressure is immense. The atoms are crushed together. You are wrestling with the fundamental forces of the universe. And for a moment, you are winning. Then a new alarm shrieks through the bridge, a high-pitched wail of imminent failure. Red lights flash across the console. The gravitic plates are overloading. A resonance cascade is building in the core. The containment field is fluctuating wildly. The heart of your new son is becoming unstable. It happens in an instant. The gravity well collapses. Instead of pushing outward, it pulls inward, violently. The nascent star implodes. It creates a micro-singularity, a point of infinite density and hunger. It begins to consume everything around it. It is a silent catastrophe in the dark. The singularity tears at the forge. Metal groans and twists under the strain. The lights flicker and die. Emergency power kicks in, casting the bridge in dim red light. The entire station shudders violently. The singularity is trying to eat your forge from the inside out. You have seconds to act. You slam your hand on the emergency purge valve. It reroutes all available power. It fires a focused beam of pure energy at the singularity. It is a desperate gamble. A final, all-or-nothing push. The beam hits the collapsing core. For a heart-stopping moment, nothing happens. Then the singularity evaporates. It vanishes in a flash of hard radiation. Silence returns to the bridge. The shaking stops. The only sound is the frantic beating of your own heart. You stare at the screen. The beautiful cloud of gas is gone. The void is empty once again. Your first attempt has failed. The forming core nearly consumed your entire station. You are back at square one. You take a deep, shuddering breath. The smell of ozone fills the air. The forge is badly damaged. Multiple systems are offline. The primary containment field is shattered. The bridge is a mess of sparking consoles and broken conduits. It is a scene of total devastation, a monument to your failure. For a long time, you simply sit there. The weight of your defeat presses down on you. The voices of the council echo in your mind. The dismissive pity of the elder ones feels heavy. They were right. You were a child playing with fire, and you had been badly burned. The promise you made feels like a cruel joke. But then you see it, through the smoke and sparks, the small, pale face of a child in your memory. Her question hangs in the ruined air. Will I ever see the sun? Despair is a luxury you cannot afford. Failure is not an endpoint. It is just very expensive data. You rise from your chair. You grab a diagnostic toolkit. The repair work begins. You are not just an engineer. You are a scavenger, a survivor. You work with unmatched ingenuity. You bypass fried circuits. You reroute power through secondary conduits. You use salvage parts to rebuild what was broken. The work is slow and exhausting. You do not sleep. You do not stop. You are driven by a cold, determined rage. A rage against the dying of the light. a rage against the cold equations of the universe, and a rage against your own foolish mistake. You will not fail again. You will learn from this. You will build it better. From their distant thrones, the Elder Ones watch. Their perception of you begins to shift. The disdain is still there, but it is now mixed with something else, a flicker of faint interest. You did not just fail. You failed spectacularly, and you did not die. You did not run. You began to rebuild. This was unexpected. Your persistence is noted. Weeks turn into a month. The forge is transformed. It is no longer the pristine machine it once was. It is a patchwork of repairs and modifications. Scars of exposed wiring and welded plates cover its walls. It looks less like a tool of creation and more like a veteran of a long war. But it is stronger, more robust. You stand before the main console once more. The systems are back online. Power levels are stable. The new containment field is a design of your own making. It has triple the redundancy. It is reinforced with principles you learned in the fire of your failure. You are ready to try again. You restart the process. You cast your invisible net into the void. You gather the dust of Genesis. The hydrogen cloud forms again, a familiar, ghostly shimmer in the dark. This time, you do not rush. You are patient. You are careful. You monitor every variable with obsessive focus. You know where the dragons lie. You begin the compression sequence. The cloud contracts. The temperature rises. You approach the critical point of failure, the point where everything went wrong last time. Your hand hovers over the emergency purge. Your heart pounds in your chest. The station groans. The new containment field holds. You push past the old limit. The pressure builds. The temperature soars into the millions of degrees. And then, something new happens. A rhythmic pulse appears on your display. A deep, steady waveform. It is a stable gravity pulse. The protostar is no longer just a hot ball of gas. It has a heartbeat. The sound is piped into the bridge. A low resonant thrum. Thump, 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 thump. It is the sound of a living thing. A cosmic heartbeat echoing in the silence. It is the steady rhythm of a new god taking its first breath. A wave of relief washes over you. So profound, it almost brings you to your knees. You have done it. You have tamed the beast. The heartbeat grows stronger. The proto-star is stable. It is growing. It is on the path to ignition. You allow yourself a small, grim smile. The universe had tried to stop you. It threw its best punch. And you were still standing. The promise was still alive. Your moment of triumph is short-lived. A new alarm blares. This one for proximity. Something has just entered the system, something large. You switch the main view screen to long-range sensors. Your blood runs cold. A fleet of warships has appeared at the system's edge. Dozens of them. They are sleek, black, and menacing. They are ships of the Council of Stars. They are not here to deliver another warning. This is the enforcement they promised. Their forms are alien and sharp. They look like blades ready to cut the heart out of your creation. They arrange themselves in a perfect blockade formation, a wall of silent judgment between you and the rest of the galaxy. A transmission request appears. This time, you accept it. You want to see the face of your executioner. A hologram flickers to life on your bridge. It shows a being of immense age and arrogance. Its skin is like polished obsidian. Its eyes are cold, glowing points of light. It does not introduce itself. It doesn't need to. This is a being used to being obeyed. You have defied the will of the Council. Its voice is not synthesized. It is real, and it drips with contempt. You have continued your reckless work. This is your final chance. your only chance. Extinguish your stellar anomaly now. Surrender your station and yourself. If you refuse, we will erase you from existence. The ultimatum hangs in the air. Cease or be erased. Simple, absolute. The being in the hologram stares at you. It expects fear. It expects compliance. It has seen entire civilizations bow to its power. It sees you as a minor inconvenience, a bit of cosmic pest control before it returns to more important matters. They always underestimate the desperate. You look at the alien commander. You look at the fleet of judgment on your screen. You look at the pulsing heart of your new sun. Everything you have worked for is on the line. Every hope, every promise. The Council wants you to choose. Surrender your dream, or die for it. You give your final, silent answer. You turn your back on the hologram. You walk back to the main engineering console. Your silence is a greater defiance than any word. It is a declaration. You have made your choice. The work is more important than their threats. More important than your own life. The alien commander's face twists in rage. It is an expression it has likely not made in 1,000 years. So be it, it hisses. The hologram vanishes. On the main screen, the warships begin to glow. Weapon ports open. Energy builds within their cores. They are preparing to fire, to unleash enough power to atomize the forge. You ignore them. You focus on your own console. The protostar is ready. The density and temperature are optimal. The magnetic fields are aligned. The heartbeat is strong and steady. It is time. Time to light the candle. Time to give your people their dawn. You place your hands over the final controls. There is no turning back from this. The sequence is irreversible. Once started, it will cascade until ignition is achieved, or until it detonates with the force of a supernova. You think of the child's face one last time. You whisper your promise into the humming air of the bridge. Then you begin. You trigger the final sequence. A cascade of commands flows into the star's core. The first is a magnetic pinch. It squeezes the plasma with impossible force. The second is a targeted energy injection. It raises the core temperature past the final threshold, 100 million degrees. The pressure is unimaginable. The universe seems to hold its breath. The warships pause their attack. Their sensors are screaming with unbelievable energy readings. The very fabric of space around the forge begins to warp. The heartbeat of the protostar accelerates. Thump, 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 thump. It is a frantic drumbeat counting down to creation. On your screen, a single word flashes in green. Fusion. The first atoms have merged. Deuterium and tritium have become helium. They have released a photon of pure, untamed light. It is the first spark, the first breath of fire. A chain reaction begins. A wave of fusion spreads through the star's core. You shield your eyes. The view screen goes white. An explosion of light erupts from the heart of your machine. But it is not a destructive explosion. It is a controlled, sustained release of energy. A torrent of photons, a wave of solar wind, a dawn created by your own two hands. You have said, "Let there be light." And there was light. A new sun now shines in the endless darkness. It is a brilliant, beautiful white-yellow star, young and fierce and full of life. Its light pushes back against the void. A wave of pure energy and radiation washes over the system. It is the cry of a newborn star announcing its arrival. The Council fleet is caught completely off guard. Their shields are rated for weapons fire, not for the raw, untamed power of a stellar birth. The solar flare hits them like a physical blow. The wave of light and particles slams into their hulls. Shields overload and shatter. Systems short out. The warships are thrown back. They tumble out of formation, out of control. Alarms shriek on their bridges. Their arrogant commanders are blinded by the new light. They are powerless against this force of nature you have unleashed. Your creation has swatted them aside like annoying flies. Their judgment has been rendered meaningless. The light from your new sun is holy. It is the light of a promise kept, the light of a new beginning. It streams past the crippled fleet. It travels out into the empty space beyond. It begins its long journey across the light years, a journey to a cold, dark world waiting for its sunrise. The bridge of the forge is bathed in the warm, golden light. It is the first real sunlight you have felt in your entire life. It feels like forgiveness. It feels like victory. You have done the impossible. You have built a star for humanity. In the aftermath, a new kind of silence settles. The warships of the Council are in disarray. Some are trying to retreat. Others are simply adrift, their systems fried. They pose no threat to you now. Your new sun stands as your shield and your sword, a testament to your unbreakable will. Then, a new message arrives. Not from the Council. This one is different. It is a single soft chime. You turn to the communications console. The symbol of the Elder Ones is on the screen. For a moment, you expect more disdain, more pity, perhaps even a threat of their own. You were wrong. The message is not a feeling this time. It is a sequence of pure data, a set of starborn coordinates, a location deep in the galactic core, a place no lesser species has ever been invited to see. It is followed by a single, resonant thought, a thought that is not a word, but a concept. Welcome. It is not a warning. It is an invitation. They watched you defy the Council. They watched you fail and rise again. They watched you wrestle with creation and win. You have done something they thought impossible. You have broken their oldest rule, and in doing so, you have earned their respect. You are no longer a noisy child. You are a peer, a being who can shape the foundations of the universe, a power to be acknowledged. You have earned humanity a seat among the stars, not by asking, not by begging, but by building one of our own. You close the message. The invitation can wait. There is something more important to see. You turn the forge's main sensor array. You point it toward a specific set of coordinates, your homeworld. The light from your new sun is still traveling. It will take time to arrive. But you have other ways of seeing. You tap into the network of quantum relays. You look through the eyes of a probe in orbit of your planet. The view screen shows the cold, dark surface, a world locked in ice and twilight. But then you see it. On the horizon, a new star is rising. Your star. Its light touches the frozen plains. The ice begins to glimmer. The sensors show a change in the atmosphere. The temperature is rising by a fraction of a degree. Down below, in the deep underground cities, alarms are going off. Not alarms of danger, alarms of wonder. Data streams from the surface are showing the impossible. Sunlight. Real, measurable sunlight. The elders of your people are weeping. The scientists are speechless. The children are looking up. You watch as your people thrive under their new sun. Over the coming years, they will return to the surface. They will feel warmth on their skin. They will plant seeds in thawing soil. They will look up at a blue sky. They will remember what it means to live in the light. All because you kept a promise. You are no God. You are not a master of creation. You are an engineer, a stubborn human who was told no, a parent who refused to let their child's world die. You look at the star you built. It shines with a steady, peaceful light. Your work is done. You can finally rest. The dawn has arrived.